Just had a real tennis session this morning, so I'm kind of destroyed. That's how you do it in Australia. Really go for sports early morning. This case was not really early. It was supposed to be 8, but then it turned out that it was a 9, so not really early morning. So what we are trying to fix today is this number here. So this number indicates how well the player was positioned laterally to hit a shot. So right now I would expect the AI to be pretty much spot on perfect in position. For some reason is not. We have to figure out what's going on. My AI is beating you 3-1, my love. You see? You're this one. Your black hair. I'm blondie. What is this? Why? It's pretty cool dessert, no? For now, I need to have a look at it at the. Yeah, I need to have a look at it. I like the serve. It feels like a kick serve. The AI right now is very rudimentary. So what they're doing is pretty much going cross court safe, and 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time they will go hard with power down the line. But it's completely random, so it's not that they expect anything in particular. So in this case, she went down the line from way back. Yeah, down the line and made the point. So it's very simple for now. Right, so let's have a look at this number over here. So it's 94, 95. I just want to make sure that there is not something hiding in there. Obviously, the serve is 100%. Let's try to understand. It's very possible that I have some kind of error in the AI actually coded in on purpose. So let's have a look. I think it's very possible that that's the case. Do I have a? Oh, cool. I thought I had a data race here, but it's locked. Right. So where are we? Yeah, it doesn't look like is a timing error that we are not applying. So it looks to me like there is something wrong, and it's probably in the what was it called? I'm starting to notice, actually, I'm starting to notice how I'm not used to work with languages that don't have methods. Let me pull up 1 second this YouTube chat. 1 second. It's so annoying. There is always pop-up chat. It changes all the time, so I have to go and re-grab it and put it in my OBS, otherwise I cannot see. Docs custom, back, apply, and I got the chat. Ed eccolo. Ciao. I was wondering, like, is somebody on YouTube talking that I cannot see? So what I was saying is, like, as my code gets bigger, I'm starting to notice that my brain is not used to work in a language with no methods, right? Because right now I would be like, okay, what is the function to check if I collide with the ball again? And it's like, I don't have it, right? It doesn't come to me. And if I was in Rust or if I was in Rust or in C++ or any kind of language with method, I know that I will be like looking into, okay, maybe it's a method of ball. Okay, it's not a method of ball, so maybe it's a method of player. Okay, it's not a method of player. Is it a method of the match itself? Right? It's going to be somewhere in there. But here now, I don't know what it is. I don't remember what it's called. And is it check? Here you go. Check ball hit. It's like, hopefully my brain just gets used to it. Obviously, people that work in C don't have a problem with this. And actually, it's not that, it's just a style of programming, really. There are code base that are written, for example, in Rust that don't really use method that much. I think Rust Analyzer is one example where it's a lot of loose functions. I think it's just a mental state of just getting consistent in how you call stuff. I try to, it's a little bit of a mixed bag because, I change it all the time. Sometimes I go like action and who performs the action. But I try to put like the action first. But I'm not consistent. Like, for example, I have like a player hit pause. And this doesn't really have, this is like an implied get player hit pause. So right now I have no consistency. This is more like, in this case, it's not really a method, right? It's more like it's retrieving something. Same thing like shot side. So it becomes, yes, there is an implied get. I don't like get, but I have a get, right? And then I get serve side. So I'm a little bit all over the place because I'm trying to adjust to this. The problem is that I think somewhere I have variables called serve side. So to make it obvious, there is a function and it's not a variable. There is serve side. I call it like this. So anyway, check ball hit. This is the guy that is actually doing the check. And I think this is the one that is wrong, exactly. Because he's using this hit pause. And I think I need to get rid of it. I think I need to get rid of this one because first of all, right now is 1. And I think I should get rid of it. And this will probably, it's going to give me errors everywhere that I'm using it. So for example, here I multiply 1 by this, but this is what I really want now, is this short sign, side sign. Basically what is happening is that when I was using boxes to gray box this game, I didn't realize that actually what is happening is that the optimal lateral distance is different if you're playing a forehand than if you're playing a backhand. Because if you're playing a forehand, you can actually hit, you can and you should hit the ball more far from you laterally. You should try to use all the power and all the space. When you're playing a backhand, you're still using your right arm, so you're kind of jammed. So your hit position is going to be closer to your body. So having one value for both didn't work, right? So now we have a separation between, like, okay, are we talking about backhand or forehand, right? So I should basically use this function everywhere I was using hit pause. And that should fix the problem. So this is max lateral distance. Now this is an interesting one, because this is more like a gameplay implication, right? You want to say, okay, how forgiving I want to be. It's a little bit like a coyote jump thing, right? So the question is, do we want to be more forgiving on the backhand, where we are supposed to hit it closest to us, but we're still giving 1.5 meters maximum? Or we want to be more punishing, right? So can that be a constant? It's a very good question. And then how are we using it? So we are checking the lateral distance between this, and then I imagine we're going to use so that's the mistake. Am I even using this max lateral distance? I'm using it to refuse the shot, basically. Right. So, let's start. We know that we're going to need that shot side multiplier, right? So, shot hit pause side distance multiplier, and we need to pass in the player state shot side. So we know this, right? So what we can do is basically change this code like this, where we're using that value. And this should bring us to the AI closer to 100% lateral all the time. So let's have a look. Let me put the match in let's put the session training session center safe. Basically what I did a mode where the players are just gonna, the AI is just gonna trying to hit the ball in the middle of the court. Okay, so now we can see that this is slam and 99%. Every shot the AI is perfect, which is what we want, right? We want the AI to be perfect, and then, right, once the AI is perfect or close to perfect, so right now he's hitting 99, 99, 98. So the D value is the lateral distance, right? So how well the AI position itself laterally. And the T value is how well the AI timed the shot. So this is basically giving us an AI that is like perfect, like 98, 99%, and that's it. And because then we are going to be the one to make the AI make mistakes, right? And so we know that there is no inherent mistake in the AI. So they in theory, they should be able to go on forever. In theory, they should be able to just go like this forever, right? Because they are going for a safe shot in the middle of the court, and they're always perfectly positioned. So this should be absolutely going on forever. And I also adjusted the distance, like I said, so we can see that, for example, now if I slow motion, yeah, the backhand looks more like we're hitting the ball. The distance is more correct. Bang. And also I found that there was a bug in the reaction time. So now we can see that there is the AI is not instantly reacting. So there is ball and then the AI moves, right? So it's right now it's a good AI, so it reacts pretty quickly, but this is something that is going to be in the game. So at the beginning, when you start playing, your AI opponents, like real players, this is a thing in tennis, like the ability to understand where the ball is going. You know, it's a skill, right? Your brain needs to see so many balls that you can instantly recognize where the ball is going and where you should position yourself, right? And that takes time. So right now we have that in the AI, and we can make it like, you know, I can easily make it what is the AI skill? AI. Where's the player? Sim player. Tennis AI. Okay, why I call it tennis AI? Whatever. Reaction time. So right now the AI is like 150 milliseconds to react. We can make like a 65 years old woman that never played tennis in her life, and she will take 750 milliseconds to react. And let's see how that is going to look like. Still looks pretty good. Doesn't mean that we have a bug here. Do we have a bug? 1 second, 700 milliseconds. Yeah, okay, now. Okay, now she's like, where is the ball? Yeah, by the time she reacts, it's like the ball is long gone. Let's go 1 second, 200 milliseconds. You can make one AI, for example, that has a predominant forehand. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's very realistic. What the hell was that? A lot of weird things are happening. Okay. They can very react. Oh, I got this one and then missed that one. Okay, so you can see the effects of the reaction time. That's really weird. What is happening there? So you can really see it. I was surprised that in the middle of the court, 700 milliseconds, they could still reach the ball and play. Obviously, they struggle a little bit more with the how much they prepare, but it's not bad. Obviously, you know, they are. I wonder how what happen if I play against the AI with this low reaction time. If I can make it more difficult for the AI. Now I am playing. Take that. Take that, Chax. Yeah, you can see that even with a safe shot in the corner, she couldn't take it. Yeah, so you can see that he's really struggling, right? He's really struggling. So let's put it back to 150, which I think it's a very good reaction time, and now it should become really difficult for us. Should become really difficult to. Yeah, it's still struggling, and it's something that I'm going to work on today on short shots. See, so if I try to go, let me try to go always short in the middle, and the AI at a certain point will start to miss some shot. For example, right? So that, because right now what the AI is doing when it comes to choosing a position for the shot, the AI is always trying to hit the ball at the highest point, right? So he's working with the trajectory of the ball, and he's trying to say, okay, where I can hit this ball where the ball is as high as possible. And when the ball is short, that means that the AI will have to move forward a lot. And the thing is that the AI will not get in position until they are exactly where they want to be. Right? And what we need to do is we have to add something to the AI where it says, okay, can I actually get there in time? Another game design thing that I'm still not sure. You see that now, if I miss time, it's always a mistake. It's almost always a mistake. So this was good. It was good. So if I miss timing, 31%, it's a mistake. Now, this is something that I really have to think about from a game design point of view, because there are two options here, right? I can make it that if I miss time, the window for my mistake get bigger, right? But it doesn't mean that my mistake will be bigger. It could be, but it doesn't mean that it will be. Like the way I have it right now is that, you know, there is a more direct correlation. If you hit it wrong, it's going to be a big mistake. You could be incredibly lucky and the ball still goes in. But there is a very direct correlation between the ball going in a random direction every time you miss it. What I'm afraid is that if it becomes a window for possible mistakes, then it becomes really confusing for the player, understanding. Like this is very clearly punishing you. Like, okay, no, that's wrong. You hit it wrong. If I give you a big window of mistakes, there would be a lot of situation where you miss it, but the ball still goes in, just because the random number generator gives you a lucky shot. So it will be more difficult for the player to understand, okay, there is a direct correlation here. If I make a mistake, it's a mistake. Okay, so this one is working now. So let's take a victory lap and commit it and say that we fixed the, so fixed AI lateral offset and fixed check ball lateral offset. Right. All right, so what we want to do, let me also adjust one second this thing. So what we want to do today is, let's say that is like AI improvement. Okay. So let's say so as I was saying right now, when the AI chooses a position to go, is trying to hit the ball in the highest place. So let's go to the code that does this. And because this is going to grow, I think we need to extract it in a function, because this is gonna be big, right? It is gonna be a big part of how the things work. So let's say AI choose target position. We pass in the player, and I think we're just gonna set position from there. So what we have right now is this one. So we could also do the reaction time in here. Right, so choose target position, and we pass in the player. Right? So all this stuff goes into that function. Nice. Okay. So this should just work exactly the same. That's good. Okay. So how we're gonna change this? So right now we can see that what is happening is that the eye is projecting the ball, is asking for highest point after the bounce, I have a feeling that we do this in the ball. I have a feeling that the ball already has this information. The only thing that the ball doesn't have is the time of this trace. And the time is, yeah, this one. All right. Okay. Project ball. So project ball mode. So we can ask for the first bounce. We can ask for the highest point after the bounce. And I think let's do something that, where are we using this highest point? Because so we're using it here. We're using it here. Right. Okay. I have a feeling that this should become full. And the idea is that, so this is what we're returning. So we're returning highest point. So I think we should have something like last call point. So what is a last call point? Last call point is just before the second bounce, right? So here we are updating the highest point, right? Here we do update last call, okay? And what we do with the last call. Now, if the ball is going down, so is the velocity is less than 0, and the position of the ball is more than, I don't know, what is the lowest that we can hit a tennis ball? Let's say 100, something like that. 1 decimeter, something like that. 2, something like that. Right? We record the thing. So this becomes the last call point. Okay. But there is a but. We might not have a last call point. So there could be a situation where the ball hit the wall behind us before it gets to this, right? I imagine that in that situation, t is going to be 0. So we really don't care. And another place that could be interesting for us, right? Another place that could be interesting is, so we could have another hit point, which is easy hit zone. So easy hit zone is going to be the point in the trajectory when the ball is going down after the first bounce and is in the strike zone. So in the, it's like the ideal height, that where we want to hit the ball, right? Ideally is between our knees and our shoulder, right? So it's right there in our strike zone, and it's easy because it's when the ball is going down. Okay, right, and then we could have the Agassi hit zone. Let's call it like this, Agassi hit zone, which is basically the same thing between knee and shoulder, but when the ball is going up. It's going up. Okay, so let's update also those, right? So update easy hit zone. And when is this hit zone? So if the velocity of the ball is less than 0, so the ball is going down, and the position is more than our knee, which is, what is it now, a knee of a human? 0.7, maybe? And pulse is less than our shoulder, which is 1.3, 35. This should be actually the best that we can do. So the way that we should do it, we should really go like with, what we really should do is a vertical offset is going to be position -1. So basically, if 1 meter is our ideal strike zone, right? We want to get the point where the ball is going down and is right there, right? And how we do this? I think I keep saving this vel, which I don't think we need. So let's go. So the easy zone, I think I could just calculate it on the fly. The current offset is ABS between res easy boss y, right? And if vertical offset is less than current offset, then we record it. That's easy. Right? Okay. And then finally, the Agassi strike zone is pretty much exactly the same, but this time is the ball going up. Right? And this is going to be the Agassi hit zone. Fair enough. Okay. So now we need to change that highest into full. So we're going for a full trace. All right. Okay. So now we have this information. So let's try to change the eye and see what happens if we tell the AI to use the easy. Right, so instead of the highest point, we're going to use the easy hit zone. And I see something that I don't like. I need to do a change here. Highest point. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Right. So, let's see what happens. Let's have a look. Like they should ideally take the ball always at the about, yeah, in the strike zone. And you see that that's actually happening. You see that this is the green is their ideal strike zone, and they're moving back to always hit in the strike zone when the ball is going down. So that's working. That works really well. Moonballing. Nice. Very well. Okay. So, okay, one thing that I want to change, I need to create a structure from this. So what we're going to do, how are we going to call it? Project ball point, POI, points of interest. Right, so it's a struct. I really don't think we need the velocity for this. So we're really going to need position, and we're going to need time. Okay, so first bounce becomes a project ball point of interest, right? And so on and so on and so on. Hey, Postuman, how are you? How are you? I don't want to lose the comment there. Okay. And let's fix a couple of problems where all these velocities, we're not using them anymore. I don't think I'm gonna need that information. Okay. So it's all the same. Why I did this? Because now in the AI choose target pose, what we can do is, target point of interest, right, is going to be, and we will have to choose that. So let's say that now we're going to use the Agassi hit zone. So we change all this into target point of interest. I think I took all of them. All right, so now the AI should use the Agassi point of interest. So I should try to hit the ball on the rise at the ideal height as the ball is going up. And it looks like it's kind of doing it. It's definitely doing it. Okay, so the question is, how much is the AI going to struggle if I'm the one playing and I'm giving the AI short balls? Got that one. Got that one. Looks good. So far, so good. So next is, let's have the AI playing on the last call point. Instead of last call, let's call it last hope. Last hope point. Last hope point. Okay. So now the AI should try to hit the ball in a very low, so they should go way back. So they will really go as back as possible and hit the ball at the very last available. They're going really, really way back. Right? Because what is going to happen is that the logic of the AI should be, okay, first of all, how aggressive I want to be, right? Because if I want to be like full on aggression, I should use the Agassi contact point, right? I should use the ideal point after the bounce. And then you should check, okay, do I actually have the time to get into that position? If I don't have the time, then I have to choose another target, right? And perhaps change my approach to what my next shot is going to be. So it's like the way we position ourselves, it's part of what kind of shot we want to play next. So you see now the girls are really, look how back they're going to hit these balls, right? Because they're basically like as late as possible. So this is like, okay, oh my god, they're really into moon bowling right now. Look at that. Right. Okay. So we are all about now choosing this target POI. And right now, because the movement of the player is very easy, it's very simple. It's just there is no acceleration, there is no, so it's very easy to know, and we are doing it here. It's time to get there, right? The problem is that when we choose this position, the problem we should already decide what we're going to do with our shots. And the problem with that is that decision for us arrives later than that. That decision arrives here. And it's very late. It arrives really late. I have a feeling that the two decisions should really be combined. I have a feeling that this function should be one function. So here we are delaying I have a feeling that this function should be called like choose target position and shot target, something like that, something ridiculous like that. And so we do two things here. The big problem is we need one more variable, right? Because we have this shot target. We also need a shot power next shot power or something like that. So and shot target. So this should become player AI next shot power. Shot power request. Fuck me. So it should be a shot power request. And then we update the shot target. Okay, so this has to happen in this one. So blah, 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 blah. So here we have, now we have a decision of where we're going to be. And we can aim. So for now, we just keep the same code. So okay, so this is going to be player AI next shot power. Why are not completing? Shot power request doesn't exist. Shot power. Controls, player control mode. Player control state. What's going on here? Why we are... Shot power request. Is it because it's not compiling and Giles is giving up on life and is giving up on us? Hold on. Okay, so now, please, Giles, can you complete? No. Is it completely dead? Next shot power. Power request, it cannot complete it anymore. What happened if I restart? Nothing. For some reason it cannot shot. If for some reason it cannot see this thing. Shot power request. For some reason it cannot see it. Very annoying. Very annoying. Okay. So now that should just work as before. So we should have the girls moving way back. Okay. And playing deep. Okay. So. It annoys me so much that this thing doesn't work. See, now it works. Go figure. Maybe it was because it was not building. I don't know, but yeah. Sadly, this is something that is not great at the moment. The LSP in Java is not great. Right. So what are we going to do here? So the point is that we can, I think we should choose our strategy. Like, okay, how are we going to be aggressive or not? Then we should confirm that. So can we get in position for the shot in time? And if we cannot, we change our mind, right? So the idea is that what we can do is to say, I could actually try. All right, so this should be on the top. What is not exactly the same thing. So before we do this, we do this. Okay. First call on the strategy. Right. So if we are safe, so if we are training, we use safe, and that's it. Then we do this one. Then 80% we're going to be safe, 20% we're going to go for a shot. Good. Then we're going to have a target point of interest, which is project ball point of interest. Okay. And then we're going to do if player AI next shot power is, so case, otherwise not, why you are not completing. This pisses me off so much. Why you're not working. Actually, I want to go back to Rust. Can I rewrite it in Rust? You hate me? It's so frustrating. How long is it gonna take me to redo it in Rust? 2 weeks? Right. So if we are in safe mode, we use res easy hit zone. If we're using power, we try to go for it. Res agassi hit zone. So that's our logic for now. It's very, very simple. Okay, so the logic is super simple. So we decide here, but then when we come to here, we don't want to do this again. What we want to do is choose. So we still want to check if we're training, because if we're training, then our shot is going to go there. And if we're not training, we choose based on what the next shot is going to be. So if player AI next shot power equal, and we go case, and it doesn't work, save, we're going to choose. At the moment, I'm just going. Okay, that's the difference. So what this is basically we're choosing the sign of the X to basically be the opposite to where the ball is. So we're kind of doing a cross-court shot. Okay? While if we are going power, we do the opposite. We do down the line shot. All right, that should work. Now, obviously, we don't want to have it in center safe mode. So we want a training session, which is a session mode. That is points. And right, training mode kind points. Okay, so we're not serving, so we're getting the ball fed, but the girls are going to go for a full point. And what is going to happen is that when they go for it, they should go for it in an Agassi way. Let's see. So that didn't look very aggressive to me. They're not going for it. They're not going for it. Because I didn't put it, right? It's still in... yeah. They're still in center safe. All right. That was very obvious, right? That was really, really obvious. I wish I had some way to do a replay where I go fast forward. So I'm watching a replay now. I want to go to that place. The problem is that I go to the place that I cannot. Yeah, I need controls for the replay. I think it's more obvious from this side what they're doing. Let's see if I can predict. So this is safe, this is safe. This is safe. This is safe. And this is going for it. Yeah, okay. All right. That was very obvious. She was going to go for it. She really went to the ball. This was not obvious to me. Let me put it back in real time. And now we're back in real time. That was not obvious to me that I was going for a power. Safe. 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 Maybe. No, safe. Go. Yeah. That was obvious that she was going for it. Safe. Safe. Doesn't even get it. Safe. Go for it. Yeah. Okay. I can predict. You can see that they're going. Right? They're moving into the court when they're going to hit it harder. Safe. Safe. Ah, no, she went for it. Okay. Safe. 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 Safe, I think. Moonballing. Super moonballing. She's going? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. That kind of works. And I think I'm going to stop because I'm really, really hungry. What is going to be needed eventually is that basically here, because before we commit, we will have to do some kind of, can we get there? Right, so distance to cover, we will probably put this into a functions or something. Right, so how long we're gonna take to go there, how much time we have. So can we get there in time? And are we trying to get in a position that is impossible? We will never get there. And if we don't, then if we don't, we have to kind of de-escalate, right? So if we are already in safe mode, let me just try to write it and then let's see. So right, so let's see here, like validate the target boss. Can we get there in time? Right. So this is the time that is gonna, so this is the distance that we have to cover. This is the time that is gonna take us to get there, right? And if we don't get there in time, de-escalate, right? So what we do is we do another, so we see what we were trying to do, right? So if we were trying to be safe, it means that we were using the easy hit zone. So what we should do is fall back to the last, whatever you call it, target POI is res last hope point. Right? If we were in power mode and we stay in, if we were in power, what we're going to do is choose the easy one and change our decision to go for it, right? So player AI next shot power is going to be safe. So we revert to safe. And here there is like a to-do, like, you know, can we actually get in to the save point. Right? Because if we cannot, this should become like a loop. It should be like a loop where it ends with the save. So it should be a loop. It should be a loop. We should have a loop here. Where we break out of the loop. So this is going to be like loop. Is it loop? There is no loop in Jai? Or I don't remember how to write a forever loop in Jai. I think that's the syntax. No, how you write a forever loop? It's not while true. Could be while true. Let's have a look in the Tekla code. Yeah, I see that they use while true, so it's while true. There is no special for. I'm getting confused with other languages that have a special for. So that's the idea. So when we get here, we do break, and if we can get in time, we also break. So this should be safe enough, right? So the idea, what is happening here is that if we are in safe, choose the last stop point and get out from the loop, because there is nothing more that we can do. That's our last place where we can possibly go. Okay. If we are in power, change, de-escalate, go with the easy zone and a safe shot, and loop. So we go back, we loop. Hold on. That's wrong here. So this should be target POI boss. Okay. Okay. And obviously here, you know, we should also have some kind of yeah. So if we are in power mode, switch to easy zone, switch to safe, loop. So we go here, we recalculate. Hopefully, so if we make it, we break. If we don't make it, we are in safe. We go to the last stop and we break anyway. This should work. So let's go. It's going to be very difficult to see, I think. This cascade of decisions from the AI, I will have to have some way to have it in the replay so I can look at it. Now they're all moonballing. Nobody's going for the shot. It looks to me like they're always going for the safe. So something is not working. So they're always going for the safe. So it looks to me like we always end up here for whatever reason. So if time to get into position. Distance. Time to get into the position. is more than that. It looks to me like we are always ending up there. Let's prove it. Why? Log switching to last hoop. Right? And this one is switching to easy. It looks to me like they're switching to last hoop all the time. Let's see. We're seeing the log. Switching to last hoop. I have to enable the eye for my player. Switching to last stop, 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 switching to last stop. All right, so that something is not working, obviously. Obviously. Obviously, something is not working. Right. Let's try 1 second with the debugger to see if we see something very obvious. Gosh. Let me enable the eye 1 second. Stop here. Boom. Okay. So let's have a look at what this returned. So it's going to take 2 seconds to get to the Agassi zone. 2 seconds 97 for the easy, and 3 seconds 11 for the last stop. Now, time to get in position is 5 seconds. Okay, obviously we are calculating this one wrong. We also have to do all this. Lateral offset. But it's still 5 seconds is insane. this is the problem. This is the problem. Is player state, so where we are at the moment. The other problem is that, okay, we're gonna have a little bit of so this should really be XZ. Okay. But the target position is still wrong because we're not doing all this lateral offset thing. And I'm just too cooked to do it. So I think I'm gonna bail on this for today. We'll come back to this later. So this is just back to the Ooh, what happened there? What the hell happened there? Did the ball bounce on the ground? And then went into the court? I don't understand what happened. I really don't understand what happened there. So it went into the wall, then she hit it, then went into the ground, and then he thinks that the ball is still good. Okay, so many things wrong. Okay. A battle for another. Thank you very much, guys. I'm gonna get some lunch. Maybe see you tomorrow. Maybe see you later in 5 or 6 hours for European times. See you. Ciao, 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 ciao.